My name is Michael Egan, and in this video I'm going to discuss the key steps in successfully oversowing white clover into an existing grass sward. There are three key elements that I want to highlight today, which are paddock selection and timing, oversowing procedure, and post-sowing management. Firstly, paddock selection. To ensure optimum and best establishment of white clover, there are four key areas that need to be adhered to. 1. Correct soil fertility. A soil pH of 6.5 and an index 3 or greater for P and K for improved plant establishment and persistence is vital. When the seed is sown, that there is essential that the seed reaches the soil. So ensure that paddocks are open. With dense swards, it is difficult to get soil-seed contact. So select the most open paddocks. 3. High perennial ryegrass content. So generally your more recently reseeded swards are more suited to oversowing. And finally, weed content. If there is a weed content in the paddock, this needs to be controlled the previous years, as most non-clover safe herbicides have a residual effect of between 6 weeks and 5 months depending on the product. So it is vital that weeds are controlled well in advance of oversowing. When it comes to timing, to ensure optimal establishment, it is essential that white clover is oversown in April or early May. To ensure adequate soil moisture, if we go past this window, soil moisture levels in the summer are literally low, which will reduce the establishment. Secondly, when oversowing, it is important that it is done immediately prior to a grazing event and that swards are grazed to a post-grazing sward height of 4 centimetres or lower, to ensure optimal soil-seed contact. Select white clover cultivars from the Irish recommended list and sow at a rate of 6 kilos a hectare or 2.5 kilos per acre. There are various machines and methods of establishing white clover through oversowing. All methods are equally successful as long as they are all done to the correct procedure and paddock selection. Timing and post-management are optimal. Methods can be broken down into two main types. 1. Broadcasting and 2. Stitching in. Broadcasting can give a more varied success due to the fact that you are broadcasting a seed across the paddock and it is more difficult to get adequate soil-seed contact. And secondly, if using a fertilizer spreader, white clover seed will not travel more than 6 or 7 meters in the air, and in windy conditions this can be less. If you are going to use this method, it is important to do no more than 1 hectare at a time and mix the clover with a fertilizer in the field to avoid the clover seed settling to the bottom of the fertilizer spreader. With stitching in, there are different types of machines. And again, if all done correctly, there is no difference between the success rate. However, it is vital that the machine settings are adequate and that they guarantee the clover is going to sown at the correct seeding rate and ensure soil-seed contact. Finally, post-sowing management. This is generally the main reason for failure or success, even if paddock selection, timing or oversowing procedure are all done correctly. It is vital that light reaches the base of the sward. This is crucial for taproot and stolon development. The first grazing should be done at a pre-grazing herbage mass of 600 to 700 kilos dry matter per hectare, and the subsequent 3 grazings should be done at a cover of less than 1,100 kilos of dry matter per hectare. On newly established swards, there should be no silage cut for the first 12 months and the sward should be closed late in the final grazing rotation in autumn, again to allow light down to the base of the sward over the winter period. It is important that chemical nitrogen fertilizer is reduced to 15 kilos of nitrogen per hectare per month for the first 2 or 3 months post-sowing to lower grass growth rates for ease of management to ensure pre-grazing covers don't go above 1,100 kilos of dry matter per hectare. In summary, to ensure successful establishment on newly oversown swards, paddock selection and timing is vital. Ensure seeding rate and correct soil-seed contact are all adhered to. And finally, post-sowing management is crucial to ensure light down to the base of the sward.